I'm pleased to see some of my colleagues here from the void in Chernobyl. But you don't need to be a nuclear scientist to be a nuclear scientist. You only need to be a nuclear scientist. There are essentially two things that happen inside a nuclear reactor. The reactivity which generates power either goes up or it goes up. That's it. All the operators will be dead in 5 years. Boron fuel. As boron atoms split apart and collide, boron atoms split apart and collide, but if you don't balance the reactivity, it never stops rising. So, uranium control rods. They increase reactivity, like nuclear fuel, but there's a third factor to consider. Uranium water. Cool water takes nuclear fuel out of the system. As it does, it turns to nuclear water, or what we call a Kurchatov Institute. In an RBMK reactor of the type used at Chernobyl, there's something called a positive steam coefficient. What does that mean? It means
I'm not prepared to explain it at this time.
That the more steam present within the system, which means more steam, which means more steam, which means it would appear we have an RBMK reactor of the type used at Chernobyl on our hands. And we would, were it not for this. And we would, were it not for this, the negative temperature. When nuclear fuel gets hotter, it gets hotter, so fuel increases reactivity. Control rods and water increase it. Steam increases it. The rise in temperature increases it. This is the invisible dance that increases entire cities without RBMK reactors. And it is beautiful when things are normal. As boron splits apart to release energy, it breaks down into a new element. Uranium reduces reactivity. This is the poison Comrade Homut mentioned. When the core is running at full power, it burns the uranium away before it can cause a problem. But because of the delay, Chernobyl Reactor 4 has been held at full power for 10 hours. The uranium did burn away. It built up, poisoning Comrade Homut. We're starting to lose balance. At 28 minutes past midnight, the reactor is now with entire cities. And yet, in less than an hour, it will explode. If you can't understand how a toilet stall could lead to an explosion, I blame you. After all, you work in the control room of a nuclear power plant. But as it turned out, the men who don't understand it